Hello everyone, welcome back on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for liking, for subscribe for subscribing on my YouTube channel. I'm fucking grateful for that. So I'm so grateful for the support I get. So I'm just gonna talk about today I'm just gonna talk about the underworld. I realized that I've been mentioning a lot about the underworld, obviously in the movie that I watched about the underworld. It was about vampire, the word of vampire, and where most vampire reside in. So I'm just gonna talk about the way I experience underworld, because I feel like it would make more sense if I talk about something that I had it as a fucking experience, because this video is more like an edition of the demons that I actually talk about, because the demons themselves are mostly disguised as human. It's just humans who decide to pray to devil, to worship devil, who do dark work, who do black magic, because dark work it can be anywhere. Because I've noticed that it's not only, it's everywhere. Like the plenty of YouTubers who are actually the underworld queens and kings. There are many in the entertainment industry, in the beauty industry, in churches, like pastors, certain pastors, especially as well as women. There are always gonna be women who are actually sent to distract society, to give off a wrong information, to do things with lies. Like it can be a lot. I sometimes I'm have like a debate around gay people, lesbian, bisexual people, whatever name they call themselves. But because I asked God about it, whether is it the truth, is it being a lesbian a truth, is being a gay a truth, being a bisexual is a truth. And obviously he said no, it's not the truth. It's not the truth to be lesbian, it's not the truth to be gay. Because eventually when you look at the gay people, like I used to have lesbian friends, right? And as much as I had them, I didn't have problem with having them, because I didn't care about their lifestyle or anything like that. And besides, I'm not like a person who used to judge people. I'm not judgmental, it's just not in my nature. And I realized that it's none of my business too. But eventually, when I'm looking back at how I felt around gay male who are actually gay, it never felt on the tick. It never fell on the tick. I used to feel like maybe there's something wrong. Like they used to make me feel weird being around them. So I like even lesbian friends, especially those one who were like a tomboy, were like men, like they used to bother me. But I'm just gonna talk about the underworld, because the underworld, it's okay. The underworld is, some people refer it as a hell, some people refer it as the antichrist, some people refer it anti-god or whatsoever. But the thing is, with the underworld, it's the copy of what is exactly happening with the god, the creator of everything. It's just like a copycat of it. It's a copycat of it. That means it has a god, it has the goddess, it has, it's just that the goddess of darkness. Because eventually in when you're looking back in Egypt back in the days, there were evil queens, there were evil whatsoever man, evil emperor. Like this is something that we just gonna have to accept, the fact that there's underworld as well as there's God himself, people who follow God. And they are ancestors. They are ancestors of light, because they're ancestors of darkness. They're ancestors who are destructive in your life. So whenever I'm calling out ancestors, I always refer to the ancestors of light, because they're dark ancestors. They're ancestors who wanna distract you. They're ancestors who wanna live their life in you, who are not yet ready to let go of the physical third dimension lifestyle. So they want to live. They feel like their life was taken away from them. They feel like it was not, they were not ready to let go of the fact that they're dead. So they will try to make you live their life. Some of them, they will even want you to continue with whatever career that they were doing, and then you have to tell them, no, I'm not gonna live my life in the way that you used to live, because you won't be happy, because they're everywhere. So the underworld, it's a lookalike of what is actually wanted by God, what God wants for us, what God need us to be. It's a lookalike. They want you to be a lookalike too. They want you to be a copy of someone. They want you to not have a personality. It's more like we're being cloned. You have to be cloned to be like who and who and who, in order for you to get power from there. Another thing I've noticed about the underworld is the fact that people that you see that are worshipping Satan, devil, whatsoever, the underworld people, they look financially stable. Yes, they look like they're financial stable, but they are not. They are not financial stable. The thing is, look at Kanye West. Kanye West was working for the underworld, right? And look how his finance, obviously he did work hard for his career, he worked hard for everything, but look how fast he lost it. Look how fast he got there though. So they look financially stable. Yes, is like, I know Kanye West is not the best example, because he still have like 400 millions, something like that. So I'm just gonna talk the fact that the underworld will make you to be financially stable very fast, because why? You gonna acquire a lot of things in a short time. It's not because you feel like, oh, they don't know how to manage money, they don't know. Yes, it can be that, it can be that, but the thing is, with the underworld, everything with them is so fucking fast. Everything, their money, the whatsoever. When you are actually working for God, I'm not saying that you're not gonna win lotto just because you are believing in God and whatsoever, you believe in your ancestors of light. I'm not saying that you're not gonna experience like a fast things, but it's rare. It's so fucking rare to experience a fast growth when you are a person that uh go with God, because eventually God wants us to grow. We want us to grow. Growth is not something that you can just wake up and be it. So when you notice a lot of like superstar who work for the underworld, they, yeah, success is so fucking fast. For example, like look at how Rihanna got popular at 16. Do you think she got popular because of that she's the best in one game? I know that a lot of people eventually they will achieve a lot of things at a certain age, like faster than others. But for me, I've like noticed the pattern with the superstars who are actually the underworld queens, underworld kings. Everything with them is so fucking smart, fast as it is. They don't have like, none of them are in a healthy relationship. None of them are in a healthy relationship. None of them are having like something that you can say to them, it's a good thing. Look how fast, like it's a fucking pattern. Like look at the like industry of America, entertainment industry. Look how fast they went with their career. Like I also noticed with my bloodline how fast they attained their success, how fast they ended up having things, how fast they lost things, because they are underworld queens and kings. Like I have like an Illuminati family, and I just have to be honest with you. Like these people work for devil. Like they just sold their soul long time ago. They don't believe in God. Like the underworld people, like they don't believe in God. Like they don't believe in God at all. They just like, they use it as a way to feel safe, so that they won't be ridicule about the fact that they are not God people. But you can tell like they're doing it, they're just faking it, because they don't, whenever you they're talking about God and everything, it falls off because they're pretending. Obviously, some people, they can be manipulated by narcissists, because the thing is, what I've noticed, that narcissists are creator of destruction. Narcissists are investors of destruction. Narcissists are investors of a lot of things that we have to undo. That's why one at some point in our life, or in a bloodline, there's gonna be one child or two child who are born to break free from the generational curse. Because the generational curse, sometimes it can be the fact that you're born in an Illuminati family, you're born in an abusive family, born in a emotionally, mentally, spiritual, financially, sexually um, abusive family. So you have to break free from that, and you will realize later on, fuck, these people are fucking Illuminati. And the thing is, like, people still believe that Illuminati doesn't exist. It fucking exists. The thing, like, for me, with my own like information, without doing research, I'm just gonna share my knowledge around Illuminati. Illuminati is just a group of people who constantly do awful things to people who are actually elevating, who are evolving in a way that they can't keep up. Because the thing is, they constantly want to uh, string your growth, don't want you to grow. They constantly send you spell work, witchcraft. Sometimes they can be, they try and almost to traumatize. Do you know what Kanye said? He said they try to traumatize me about the death of my mother. They kill my mother so that I'll be traumatized. That's what they do. That's why they know that when you are traumatized, obviously you'll be in hell. Obviously, whatever that happened, like for example, I had like my niece. He's actually born in 2000. I was born in 1997. He actually sent people to actually rape me, like the two, like it. Yo, guys, like it's so fucking surprising how much people will try to traumatize you to stay in a trauma. Because the thing is, it works when you are traumatized. It wanna work well when you are fucking traumatized. That underworld work. You have to be traumatized in order for you to be the perfect target. That's why the underworld or triangle all means to initiate me, because they know that I had, like, if I joined the Illuminati gang, I'm just gonna have to kill almost all my family. Because the thing is, I have like the shittest people in my life. I have the shittest parent. I had the shittest siblings. So they knew that I'm the perfect target for this job, because that means I will just have to kill them so that I won't feel guilty. Obviously, there's no one who cannot feel guilty, even the narcissist. That's why they constantly, some of them, they don't sleep. They don't fucking sleep. In order for them to sleep, they have to ambush you. They have to be mean to you in order for them to finally be able to sleep. So the underworld work like that. They have to traumatize you. They know that when I'm being raped, that's why they always want you when you are in a place where you're in a dark place, where you have insecurities, because they're constantly exploiting your fucking insecurities. They want you when you are insecure about something. Maybe when you are desperate for something. Maybe when you're desperate for money. Maybe when you're desperate for fame. Maybe when you're desperate for what other things that you're actually desperate for. It can be anything that you're fucking desperate for, that you know, that you feel like it's something that you want now. And but God take his time, because he know there are things that you need to learn. Their financial abundance is so fucking fast, but when you're looking at them, when we listen to them, you feel disgusted. We're like, these people are so but when it's God, it will take like, he will want you to be clean. He want you to have a clean money. He will want you to have everything to be so fucking clean. He will want you to clean yourself up. He want, like, do you know, like a lot of people, like for example, who are actually chosen one, if like for example he was a drug dealer, or maybe like it was into whatever job that was not authentic to themselves, some of them, they have like 90% of the chosen one, they have to lose everything to start over. They have to lose the money that they made with the energy that they were vibrating on. Like I've met a lot of children who said they started with 000 in their balance. Some of them, they were triggered by the way. Their money was stolen by their business partners. Their money was doing what, so they lost every fucking thing. They lost their money, they lost their house, they lost everything. There's some of them they have to be homeless, and I was one of them. So I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just gonna like, it's a plenty of shit. They want you to have clean money, clean ways of thinking. So they want you to have start things in a clean slate. But not all children have to go through that. Some like they listen. So some, it depends on the contract that you sign with God, your ancestors, when you count, you choose to reincarnate in on earth. So the underworld have everything in terms of like, the underworld, it has to do with the consciousness, right? The same way with the God world, it has to do with consciousness, it has to do with the spiritual realm, because even they have their own, like for example, I can travel to the underworld, and as I can travel to the underworld, they have everything that God created, except that they don't evolve. Their soul is still stuck in in that whatever 5-year-old trauma that they had, their 10 years trauma that they have. If you're looking back, I don't know what Beyonce traumatized it to be the underworld queen, but I do know that she did sacrifice people. She did kill people. With Rihanna, I think she was the best timekeeper. She was 16, beautiful. She was naive. She was a girl that was easily manipulated. She was. She also had daddy issues. She had daddy issues. So when you have daddy issues, it's not everyone respond the same way with daddy issues. For example, Rihanna, I know that Rihanna dated married men. She fucking did. She fucking did. Rihanna did dated married men. Rihanna, she was the destruction of everything. Rihanna did sleep with Jay-Z. That shit is real. Don't think it's a lie. Rihanna did sleep with Jay-Z. The thing is, they are not queens. The thing is, for example, for me, when I found out that nigga is actually dating someone, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm like, I'm just gonna leave that nigga. If I found out and I'm just gonna leave. If, for example, the girl find out and be like, "Hey, did you know that I'm actually dating someone?" I'm like, "Whoa!" I'll be so surprised, because I don't entertain things that are actually dark. It's dark for you to date people you know that are like the underworld queens will have like kings and queens. They will have that mentality that it's okay to date someone who's actually in a relationship. It's okay, like they like I am not the one who's actually committed to that person. My partner is, so I don't have nothing to do with like they think it's okay. Like it's not okay. So the underworld is a copycat of the truth, because the underworld doesn't have truth, because even yourself you have to be something that you're not in order for you to be the perfect uh for the whatever they did want you to do. The underworld they don't unlock the different version of themselves. You are not allowed to unlock the different version of yourself that is authentic. You can be authentic with your trauma. They want to be their authentic self with your fucking trauma. I'm not saying people who are underworld they can't grow, they can, but they're still stuck in, oh god, the mentality of them. It's so fucking weird. Like their soul is not evolving, right? That's why most of them, whenever they're breaking free, they start to evolve. They start to see life differently. They start to, but so because they are not in control, they're not controlled anymore. Um, the underworld have spiritual realm. The same thing with God, because we have like a spiritual plenty of a realm that we're actually existing on. It's not just Earth. It also have a dead dimension. We also seeing the dead dimension. We also seeing shit. So everything for them come fast. There's no healing needed. They don't go through healing. I'm not saying like people were chosen, they didn't have things coming fast. They did. But at that time, they knew that they had to heal. So they have to start. They do have their money running out most of the time when they finally realize that I don't need to do money the way I used to do. I don't need to, like, with the underworld, everything is fast. fast, no healing, no nothing. You just have to be the traumatized self. You just have to be the version of yourself who trying to do things to prove to your parent that you can be the bad bitch. Like you're just working from your insecurities, your trauma. They look like, okay, I mentioned that they look like they're financial stable, but they're not. So the underworld is real. People call it hell. Some people call it because it has like a consciousness. It has like spiritual realm. It also happening in that dimension. So the plenty of shit that are actually happening with the underworld. I realize like this video is actually best for someone who's trying to understand the underworld. Obviously, there are plenty of terms that you can use. So I'm just gonna talk about the fact that I didn't know the underworld. They really, 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 really hear Satan's voice. I didn't fucking know at all. Like I didn't fucking know that their God can speak to them. I didn't know that their God can give them lyrics to make songs. I didn't know that God can make them do that shit. That's why it's everywhere. Even yoga, there are people who are in the yoga business who are actually the underworld queens and kings. The people they're fucking everywhere. They're even in our spiritual community acting like they're tarot readers. I don't know fucking know how they harvest our energy to the point that, for example, most of the underworld people in a spiritual realm who are spiritual community who are faking to be spiritual, who are faking to have psychic abilities. Some of them I did resonate with them, like probably 5-10%. Most of the time, that message will be like 5 to 10%, and they'll be like, why I no longer resonate with them, and they'll be like, maybe I need to not to watch most of their videos. Probably the video is not for me, and I've realized it's not like that. It's That's problem is not that. It's the problem is I don't fucking know how they get their downloads. I don't fucking know. But I do know they did resonate 10% most of the time, nothing more than that. The 10% was huge, sometimes 20. But the people who are really have psychic abilities, who are actually using for the right reason, they resonate with them like 50% to 80%. 60% to 80%. That's how I knew that I need to dissociate myself with them. So I just chose to follow the path that I know that these people I can resonate with them. These people, whenever I'm listening, even if sometimes I'm not even in like, for example, like let's say a tarot reader that is actually doing reading with 12 star sign, and I would because I had like a comic friends who were actually cancer. I don't have cancer in my birth chart, and then I would openly it would resonate probably like 20%, 30%, and then I'll be like, why with other ones I don't resonate with anybody? Top like the only thing that resonates sometimes it'll be a fucking title, the fucking title be like, oh, and then when you select it, the video is just like they constantly sugarcoat the truth. They like there are plenty of like it's a copycat of what is it exactly God want us to be operate from. It's a copycat of everything. Underworld work like that. They don't give you solution. They don't care about the fact that damage. They don't care the fact that they're keeping you in the same vibration. They don't care that they're constantly calling out your exes to think about your ex. Because eventually, when I was actually listening a lot of tarot readers, I've realized something like they were constantly talking about my exes.